So I've heard terrible news recently when I was living in my man cave that Hokazono is going on hiatus for a month. And we won't be seeing any chapters of Kagurabachi for a while. And I have to say is, damn. I'm gonna be suffering for the whole week of July. Or, not a week, the month of July. But not as much as Hokazono is suffering right now. I've covered this briefly before in the Yusuke Urameshi Glaze video. But before I do that, if you don't know, Takeru Hokazono is a famous author that wrote Kagurabachi, or Fishbowl if you're cultured enough, when you know what happens behind the scenes of like Shonen Jump, like what happened to the Full Metal Alchemist author, or most recently the Hunter x Hunter author. This company will break you down when you're a mangaka, and I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Originally I was going to lay out the news for you when it comes to this hiatus, but I want to make it fun. But before we do that, let me read you the tweet that Hokazono had. To our readers, thank you very much for always reading Kagurabachi. Starting from Weekly Shonen Jump issue 31, on sale Monday, June 29th, Kagurabachi will be on hiatus. While Mr. Hokazono has intended to continue writing after repeated discussions, we have decided that he will have a certain period of rest in order to deliver the work in a stable form going forward. We plan on resuming serialization around August. We look forward to your continued support for Kagurabachi. Weekly Shonen Editorial Department. Well, would you look at that? The magazine might as well be an extension for North Korea at this point. Only a month? Really? I want my authors to have at least 2 months vacation time, but only a month? People might disagree me on the 2 months process of healing, but these people are not robots that are making art. These guys are human beings. They should at least have the decency for 2 months. I'm sorry. And we should at least acknowledge that better in the West than in Japan, because they're obviously run by old heads over there in the industry, which doesn't know anything about respect to their creators that make them millions at this point. But all that aside, I want to get the fun part in now. Hokazono has a thing for movies based on the questions he answered in the Comic-Con or Anime New York City gathering. He's a big fan of Quentin Tarantino, which is already a plus. And he also gets inspiration from the John Wick series and stuff when it comes to the choreography and whatever. He has a lot more examples, but that's just like the surface of the iceberg. So hopefully he likes these movies I recommended. That's right, you didn't expect a top 10 from me, huh? Either way, let's begin. Number 1, Project Hail Mary, recently starring that one guy. It's about a astronaut that is on a mission to basically save the world by destroying these vitamin D eating demons that are eating the sun. Hopefully he actually saw that. And I want to say why Project Hail Mary would be a good pick for him to watch while he's resting is like the aspect of friendship in that is pretty much gorgeous. Alright, it paints a really good picture. If you watch an IMAX, please Hokazono, please watch an IMAX. Number 2, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I know damn well he watched it beforehand, but watch it again because it's always going to be a classical masterpiece when it comes to fantasy. And maybe he can make a couple of references here and there too for Lord of the Rings. I'm just hoping that they will make like a Danten Seki ring so that they could use it more properly or something instead of like stones. But, you know, that'd be cool. Rush Hour trilogy, you know, this is gonna be a classic one. The Rush Hour trilogy itself has always been special to me because of just the kung fu from Jackie Chan and like just the chemistry between Chris Rock and Jackie Chan himself. Mr. Hokazono should totally use that for the Iron Sand lady, make it like a buddy cop-esque kind of duo when they come around, you know, because a little bit mental in the head because of his PTSD.
He ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
Top Gun Maverick, always about like determination and stuff. So maybe you could like, I guess the mentorship that builds up to like the third act. Maybe you'll do something like that for the flashback arc so far with the Sushi Man and Kunishiga Rokihira. The Born trilogy, spy running away from its own company so that he could survive another day. Another determination story, but you're probably going to give it to potentially Hiyuki. Sounds like a Hiyuki storyline, I'm not gonna lie, when you think about the Born Identity series. Or at least imply, or put parts of Born Identity inside of Hiyuki's little storyline. That'll be nice. Jurassic Park Part 1. Surprisingly, it's kind of like a horror movie most of the time, especially if you watch the third one, in my opinion, because that scene when the pterodactyl creature just comes up slowly towards, or when it's on the bridge anyway, just kind of slowly towards the kid. I don't know, that's a really good scene. The Blade trilogy, Wesley Snipes, good choreography. Copy a little bit of that into the mix. That'll be nice. All right. We'll give it a little bit of a pivot to animation, while I recommend to Hokazono the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. Kung Fu Panda trilogy, I think Chihiro would totally benefit from Poe's journey when it comes to his journey to like inner peace or something, because I know you're trying to like transform it here and there for making it less revenge story like, because obviously now we got a new goal to take out the Sword Saint Akamura Soga. El Camino with Jesse Pinkman, that's my guy right there. Or maybe you could betray Jesse's PTSD in the movie into one of the scenes of the manga. I'm telling you, I've recently seen a couple of them when I was rereading them. So, and number 10, American Pop. That's just my personal thing. It's not really important when it comes to like the influences, but I would highly recommend it regardless because of one, it has rotoscope. 2, the story is visual, and I know you could learn it off of the movie. And number 3, the main characters are like a generational thing. So like from parent to son, son to parent, parent to son, son to parent. And maybe you could do something with the music. Who knows? Whenever it comes to the anime. So I'm just giving you ideas here and there. But Hokazono, I really hope that you recover bravely, of course. I don't want you to pull a Hunter x Hunter on me. Please, please, and thank you. Those are the movies I would recommend to him. If you'd like to add anything in the comments down below, feel free, because I would like to hear your recommendations and see how you would brainstorm it into the Kagurabachi storyline, or just the behaviors of the characters and blah blah blah. And stay tuned for another Kagurabachi video soon too, because I've been working hard with my voice actors and my voice actresses, and also me getting better with my editing and stuff. It's about the Hiroshima talks, by the way, so get ready for that. All in all, this is your host, Fuyu Ai. Good morning, good evening, good night.